Hello, and I'm back as I thought I had went on break, but I guess when we flipped over, I got back on air, and hopefully you can hear me now as we are getting on through this game. As we get on through this, should be having a lot of fun as we got a 13th ball dropped in this matchup. As we are working through this matchup, we got players already 16, now 14 balls away for Chef Air. We'll see if Chef Air can take home this prize at 56 balls or less. That is now over $200. Looking really good in this matchup. As we continue through this matchup, I'm going to be hopping into some national days I'd like to highlight with you guys. As our first national day we celebrate is National Dress Day. Observed Observed annually on March 6th, we celebrate National Dress Day by reflecting on memorable events when we recall dearest memories by what we were wearing. Definitely a cool one on today. It's always fun to dress to impress, or however you like to dress on and remember those things. Dresses have been worn for hundreds of years. Today, they come in a variety of shapes and designs, from long, mini, fit, or flare to the ball gown and A-line. There are many ways to celebrate. Throughout the years, dress designs have changed drastically. However, they still provide a distinctive look and one-of-a-kind adding a level of poise and confidence to any event. Definitely some great stuff there. So maybe rock a dress on today. Share a photo of you wearing your favorite dress, past or present. Go shopping for a dress on today. Whatever, calls for a dress on today. We're celebrating it on today as it's National Dress Day, as it's definitely a fun one to highlight. We do have a winner here as No Show over at McPete's Sports Bar and Grills, taking home $18.40 on that nice Musco prize. Great job to you, No Show, as we continue on getting through this great bingo. We are now getting enrolled into this next matchup. In this next matchup, we will have that minor prize now clicking up from 56 to 58 balls or less, continuing to have a lot of fun as we get through these great games. As we continue to get through these great games, we will now be moving on to our next national day. This one is a delicious one that I've enjoyed for many years, National Oreo Cookie Day. Be ready to observe by having your glass of milk handy, as it's National Oreo Cookie Day. The day is recognized across the nation each year on March 6th. Definitely a delicious one on today and has been a staple cookie for years and years. I think it's personally best when you're having it with that glass of milk, being able to dip it and just enjoy that nice, whenever you can dip it in and make that wafer crust just that little bit better. It's definitely a great one on today. Well, let's talk about some delicious facts about these Oreos that everyone loves. Well, Oreos have actually been around for 100 years. Very interesting. As you know, we've been enjoying them for a very long time. Also, another fun fact is that there have been over 50 different flavors of Oreos. I am a personal lover of the classic basic Oreo, but I mean double stuff. You got key lime pie Oreos, Mississippi mud pie Oreo. That sounds like one I could enjoy. Maybe a gingerbread Oreo, or even a hot cocoa Oreo is worth giving a taste on today. Oreos come in over 10 different shapes and sizes. Obviously, back to referring to the double stuffed Oreos, or even now they have the thin Oreos as well. You can stack a stack of Oreos could reach the moon, actually. Yeah, there has been enough Oreos produced since their release in 1912 that they would reach the moon if you stack them. With an estimated 40 billion cookies sold each year, it would mean that if they were stacked, if you stack them on top of each other, it would be able to circumnavigate the Earth 5 times. That's ridiculous. Oreos are a different cookie in China, though. Yes. Very interesting. So maybe look up what they are in China. And Last little fun fact we'll go over as double stuffed is a lie. This is huge news, breaking news for me at least. After an experiment conducted by a high school math class in upstate New York, they discovered that double stuffed doesn't mean twice as much filling. The experiment concluded that the cream filled is only about 1.86 times bigger than their claim. Making their claim untrue. Following this discovery and the attention it grabbed, a spokesperson from Oreo insisted that they had twice as much. Well, I guess the science class and Oreo having a little rivalry right there. Well, happy National Oreo Cookie Day. Enjoy the delicious cookie on today as we have balls dropping in this game number 4 with that minor prize sitting at 58 balls or less, $241 there, looking really, really good. As we continue to work through this game number 4, I'm going to hop into our next national day, another delicious one, National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day. National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day on March 6th offers another way to celebrate one of our favorite desserts. This indulgent day inspires bakers across the country to wow us with their delicious creations. Definitely a interesting one on today, an aesthetically pleasing cake, that's for sure, as it just looks very, very good. I think most of the time I'm going to have it with that nice raspberry drizzle on top, maybe even some actual raspberries on top. That just looks delicious on today. So celebrate by having yourself a slice, if you have it available for you, of white chocolate cheesecake. I mean, can't get better than that. We do have 57 balls dropped in this game, closing in on that minor prize. Can we give it out? No. Moving on to the must-go prize of $31. But that just means that minor jackpot is getting even more fun as we get enrolled into this game number 5. As we do have that must-go winner, Jern, over at the 1029 bar in Minneapolis, taking home $31 on this fantastic game. In this game 5, 60 balls or less now for that minor prize that was already over $240 and only growing as you guys are getting enrolled over the next 2 minutes. As you guys are continuing to get enrolled over the next 2 minutes, we also keep our eye out on that major prize, $2,843. As soon as it gets over $3,000, it's going to be clicking up in ball count once again. Mega prize at $10,000 at 45 balls or less. All should be a lot of fun in this game number 5. Just 2 minutes and 10 seconds. As we get enrolled into this next game, I will be hopping into our next national day, as this is National Frozen Food Day. National Frozen Food Day recognizes the preservation feat that freezing fruits, vegetables, and meat have been on modern life. Celebrating each year on March 6th, the observance takes a look on how frozen food impacts our daily lives, its history, and how far it has come. I love some good frozen food, especially when you're feeling lazy and you do not want to cook up a meal. It makes for just one of the easiest ways to be able to prep and get ready for whatever you need. Frozen food aisles is a standard in grocery stores today as ATMs and self checkouts. It is also a convenience we don't give a second thought to unless the power goes out. The American inventor, entrepreneur, and naturalist Clarence Frank Birdseye II received credit for developing the method for the flash freezing preserve flavor and quality of food. Today, we see his name in nearly every canned good and frozen food a food aisle in every grocery store in America. While food preservation by freezing wasn't new, Birdseye discovered the key was freezing the food quickly. Flash freezing formed a small icicles, which prevented the cell walls from bursting. Large ice crystals turned the food to mush. Birdseye applied for many patents, for one of the earliest in 1927, for a process to flash freeze food. Considering that it was in 1930, only 8% of American households had refrigeration units in their homes. A frozen food patent in 1927 was a visionary step in a long chain of events that make frozen food a marketable product. Definitely an awesome one on today. Frozen food is just used all the time. Freezing your food is just Very easy and makes for cooking up a delicious meal just that much easier. So we celebrate Dr. Birdseye on today, as well as all frozen food on today. So I mean, make sure you enjoy some frozen food on today. Well, I feel like it all makes sense as we celebrated Oreo Cookie Day, White Chocolate Cheesecake Day, and Frozen Food Day that we only need to celebrate one people that protect our teeth after eating all those things, as it is National Dentist Day. On March 6th, we set aside a day each year for us to say thank you to the person who keeps our pearly whites in tip-top order every 6 months. Definitely an awesome one on today. Dentists do so much good work in keeping your mouth clean and making sure that it's running properly. As you don't even realize how much food and your dental hygiene goes into your own personal health. As it can, if you're not taking proper care of it, it can make you more sick. It can do a lot of different things. And so we definitely say thank you to all the dentists on today. The first dentist was actually 5,000 years ago, which is pretty incredible. Dentistry is one of the top jobs in the U.S. as and oral surgeons are some of the best paid dentists. There is 10,400 new dentists by 2028, and 80% of dentists practice general dentistry. 80% of dentists go into private practice, and definitely some great stuff there. Well, celebrate your dentist on today, shout them out, or if you're running late on that 6 month checkup, maybe make an appointment with your dentist on today, National Dentist Day. We are coming to a close in this game number 5, as we did click past all of our jackpot prizes. Now working on this Musco of $43.20, as I'll be going out to will actually be a split win between No Show over at Pete's Sports Bar and Grill, as well as Critchy over at Acapulco Woodbury. Great job to both of our winners in this fantastic game of Game Day Bingo, as we now get enrolled into this next matchup. In this next matchup, we'll have that minor prize clicking up to a whopping 62 balls or less. Hopefully, we can finally do that, as that minor prize is closing in on $300. Yeah, already over $320 there, and only growing as you guys are getting enrolled over the next 2 minutes. As you guys get enrolled into this game number 6, I'll be hopping into a little bit of Twins news, as the Twins fans were definitely in awe after seeing the spring training wins Monday against the potential World Series contenders. Now, it wasn't just the wins themselves that made them so inspiring, as it's just spring training after all. No, the reason for yet another dose of optimism around the club is the performance of key individuals in those wins. Catcher Ryan Jeffers started the Twins' comeback in the bottom of the 4th inning, down 2-0 at the time. Jeffers clubbed a slider 365 feet into left field bleachers. New Twins first baseman Carlos Santana completed the comeback by rocking a 3-1 fastball 381 feet into right center for the go-ahead home run in a 4-3 victory over the Atlanta Braves in Fort Myers, Florida. Then another set of Twins were in action at the same time, this time in Sarasota, Florida, against one of the American League's best in the Baltimore Orioles. In the 7-2 win, the Twins saw the young core of Royce Lewis, Brooks Lee, and Emmanuel Rodriguez all have solid days at the plate against the major league pitching. Very big, promising moves by Royce Lewis, Brooks Lee, and Emmanuel Rodriguez. We love to see them dominating at bat, as I know a few of those guys that's the reason we drafted them, was their at plate presence, and looking to see that develop and maybe make their appearances in their Twins uniforms in the major leagues would be huge wins for us. You guys could send some luck out to our Twins by playing the great ETAB game, Twins Win. You could even check out that Home Run Derby bonus round. See if you can score yourself a Grand Slam jackpot. It's definitely a great time. We love that sports-themed ETAB game. But we like to play a lot of sports themed live bingo. And one of those live bingo games themed after our sports is Game Day Bingo. Right now, we're playing it themed after our Minnesota Wild, and you're earning points right now towards those Game Day Bingo standings. Currently, those standings have been very competitive, lots of players very close in point totals. As we start off with our 10th place player, Scott, over at the Old Log Cabin with 39,000 points. With 42,000 points in ninth place, we got Dano over at Friends Bar and Restaurant. Mike finds themselves in eighth over at the Sherwood Lounge with 43,000 points, as we have 44,000 points for the seventh place player, Snowflake, at Eagles Rochester. Sixth place is Brizo at the Underground Bar and Grill with 49,000 points, as we got 50,000 points for our fifth place player, Rock Rider, at the Incline Station Bowling Center. Fourth place is Brother Nate over at Casper's Cherokee Sirloin with a whopping 55,000 points, as our third place player is Cheese at the Beartown Lounge with 72,000 points. With 74,000 points in second place, we got Ben W. over at the LM Bar as our number one player with a huge lead, 174,000 points for that player. It's Call Me Jen over at JR Mac. Congratulations to Call Me Jen, as well as all those players in our top 10, as they just get so many wins while playing this awesome game right here, Game Day Bingo. Now, to talk about those top locations to play Game Day Bingo at, starting off in 10th place, we got Beartown Lounge with 75,000 points. With 80,000 points in ninth place, we got Maynard's of Excelsior. Eighth place is the Municipal Liquor Store Akeley with 81,000 points, as we got 86,000 points for the seventh place location, Casper's Cherokee Sirloin. Sixth place is Moe's with 96,000 points, as VFW Spring Lake Park finds themselves in fifth with 101,000 points. With 104,000 points in fourth place, we got the Medford Liquor Store, as our third place location is Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards with 132,000 points. With 157,000 points in second place, we got the L&M Bar. As the number one location, unsurprisingly, home to our number one player, is JR Mack with 255,000 location points. Congratulations to both of our all of our players and all of our locations competing for these standings. It's been a lot of fun watching you guys earn so many points. But in this game of Game Day Bingo right here, we are seeing a minor jackpot go out at exactly 62 balls, as $359.68 will be awarded to Nelly over at Ecos Rochester. Congratulations to you, Nelly, in this fantastic game number 6. I will be taking a quick break as you guys play these next two games of Game Day Bingo, but I'll be back in just a little bit to announce our winners, as well as give out some more great prizes in these fantastic games. Don't forget, in this upcoming game, you'll have an opportunity at a double must-go prize. Hello, guys, and I'm back for some more of this game day bingo. Super excited to be here with you guys live as we got that 56 ball or less minor jackpot at 52 balls or less. Major prize of $2,954 at 50 balls or less. And then mega jackpot of $10,000 you could take home in 45 balls or less. I just missed out on 2 games of game day bingo during this lunchtime. And in those 2 games, we saw a one double Musco prize go out to Steve O over at the the bar in Le Sueur, taking home $65.30. Great job to you, Steve O. Next up, we had another Musco prize go out as we saw that Musco prize of $13.20 go out to Vic over at Cowboy Jack's Apple Valley. Great job to you, Vic, taking home that fantastic prize as well. Glad to have you guys out there getting after it. If you guys aren't getting after it in this great game day bingo, may I suggest checking out our e-tabs. We have over 70 different charitable e-tab games that you can play anytime and win huge prizes up to $1,500. All games have small bets between 50 cents and $5 with awesome bonus and free play rounds in those games. We'd love for you to check them out. One of our newest e-tab games is Nile Treasure 2 with an ancient chess bonus where you can choose wisely from 3 chests for instant prizes, giant super symbols, and wild scarabs, triggering sticky wilds, as well as the Magic Temple bonus within that game, where you can pick chests to reveal lucky symbols, then enjoy 5 free plays where lucky symbols replace wilds, trigger more Magic Temple bonuses for extra spins and surprises. It's a great time playing that Egypt-themed e-tab game, Nile Treasure 2. I mean, one of the better e-tabs as it's a sequel to the OG Nile Treasure. So if you're a fan of Nile Treasure, check out Nile Treasure 2. Or if you just like Egypt-themed things, check out Nile Treasure 2 as well, as good cash is being awarded every single day in those awesome games. We do have balls dropping in this great game right here as we're trying to give out a nice jackpot or must-go prize in this game. As we wait to see who ends up taking home these nice prizes, I do have a little bit of music history we can get into. As on today in 1982, Beauty and the Beat hits #1 in America, making the Go-Go's the first all-girl band with a #1 album. Very, very cool stuff. I didn't even know that that was a album done by the Go-Go's, as I always think of Justin Bieber when I think of Beauty and the Beat. But the Go-Go's iconic album for them, as that held Our Lips Are Sealed, How Much More, Tonight, as well as other big works. We do have a winner here, as Scott over at American Legion Rosemont was 1 ball away from taking home that minor jackpot, as they will be taking home that $15.40 Moscow prize. Not too shabby for you, Scott, in this game number 9, as we now get enrolled into a game number 10 with that minor prize clicking up to 58 balls or less. If Scott, you could repeat that 57 ball or a ball performance, you'll be taking home a minor jackpot that's now already at $65. As we continue to get enrolled over the next 2 minutes, I'm going to continue talking about Beauty and the Beat by the Go-Go's, as it hits #1 on today in 1982. First all-girl band to have a #1 album. This album also it includes 11 different works. Already covered talking about a few of those, but there's also Lust to Love, The Town, We Got the Beat, Fading, Automatic. You can walk. You can walk in your sleep, as well as Fading Fast, Automatic, and Skid Marks on My Heart, and Can't Stop the World. Definitely some big time works there. We Got the Beat is definitely one of my favorites, as We Got the Beat, I think, appears in a really iconic movie for me, as I can't remember where it was in. It might be in Camp Rock. Yeah, I think, or it might be in Radio Rebel. That's funny. Well, we got the iconic one on today. Next up in 2017 in music history, Chance the Rapper made his debut mixtape, 10 Day, while on a 10-day suspension from school, announces a $1 million donation to the Chicago public schools. Very interesting on today, as I think he made that announcement of the $1 million. As I don't know if 10 Day came out on today in 20. I don't think that came out on today in 2017. We'll see. As I was, I think I'm correct. Yeah, that came out in 2012. I think it is. Yes, came out on April 3rd, 2012, but was a big hit and kind of made his name. Kind of cool that it comes around that, he did it on a 10-day suspension and then went out there and in 2017, showed a little love to the Chicago public school system by giving out a $1 million donation. Fun stuff in music history on today. If you want to make Pilot Games history, sign up at PGL.world and become a member of our league. As a PGL member, you'll compete for points on our PGL special nights, as well as get exclusive insider info. Plus, we've got a monthly newsletter that's packed with tons of awesome info you won't want to miss. Some of those new players who just got signed up at PGL.world are Tams Maltz 4, Jabber 469, Killian, Rosie 89, Tag, Danny Kitty, Bold Moves, McGee, Marlin, Pen 17, Drewski, Frofro, as well as City Angel 80. Congratulations to all those players. Tonight we have a Wild Wednesday coming up, and our Wild just came off of a pretty nice performance against the San Jose Sharks, as we saw Kirill Kaprizov lead this team with his second hat trick in less than 2 weeks. Federic Goudreau also scored in that game for the first time in 24 games for the Wild, who outshot the Sharks 32-15 and leaned on their left wing star, Kirill Kaprizov, to stop a 3-game losing streak. Goudreau even had some stuff to say about Kaprizov, as he said he's got the skill, he's fast, he's strong, but what makes him one of the best in the world is that he competes every single day. Huge stuff there, and we got to send some luck out to our Minnesota Wild as they are taking on the Coyotes in Arizona, I think it is, at 8 p.m. this Thursday, so tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun as we watch those Wild take on the Coyotes, and you could send some luck to our Wild by playing the amazing E-Tab game, Let's Go Wild. You could even check out the Slapshot bonus round, see if you score yourself a jackpot prize. But as we're waiting to see if a jackpot prize can go out in this one, we only have 8 more balls to go. Well, now less than that, trying to give out that minor jackpot in this game. We'll see if it can go out in these next 3 balls, as we got Super D. Now Sid SDY 17, 1 ball away. Can that lucky ball drop right here? Looks like we're moving on to the must-go prize of $16, meaning that minor jackpot is going to continue to grow and roll into our next game. But Brizo over the Atomic Star Tavern in Mankato will be taking home that $16 must-go prize in this fantastic game number 10. We'll now be getting enrolled into a game number 11, as I am only going to be here live for this lunchtime for these 12 games of Game Day Bingo. So make sure you guys get enrolled over the next 2 games. I want to give out that minor jackpot at least one more time before we get off air. Right now, as 60 balls or less on that minor prize, it's already sitting at a nice $87 mark and only growing as you guys get enrolled over the next 2 minutes. Major prize is closing in on $3,000 as it sits at $2,983 at 50 balls or less, and a 10 grand mega that will be available in this matchup. As we get enrolled into this matchup, I was just talking about our Wild Wednesdays, and those happen from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday. I'll be here tonight to give out some amazing PGL points throughout those games, and we got to talk about the players that have been earning PGL points all season long. Starting off in 10th place, we got Ms. Wolf at the Super Bowl with 530,775 points. With 547,960 points in 9th place, we have Nelly at Brian's Bar and Grill. 8th place is player over at American Legion, Rice, with 571,710 points. With 617,055 points in 7th place, we got Joe Boo over at the Municipal Liquor Store, Millerville. 6th place is Mr. Wolf at the Super Bowl with 618,445 points. With 653,770 points in 5th place, we got Drumsky at the Underground Bar and Grill. 4th place is Sloppy at Malone's Bar and Grill with 738,895 points. With 758,425 points in 3rd place, we got Dilly Bars over at JJ's Bowl and Lounge. Second place is J Love over the Tasty Pizza Bar and Bowl with 980,065 points. As we now hop into that 1 million point club with 1,168,380 points, we got Joe M in the Long Bridge. Definitely great job to Joe M and all those players, just earning so many PGL points in those fantastic PGL matchups. Just last night was a great MegaSota game night, and we can't wait to see what kind of PGL points go out tonight in that Wild Wednesday. Some of the best locations to play PGL action are in these top 10 standings. As our 10th best location in that PGL action is Malone's Bar and Grill in Maple Grove with 738,895 points. With 752,895 points in ninth place, we got the Stanchion Bar in Hamel. Eighth place is VFW East St. Cloud with 782,090 points. With 883,545 points in seventh place, we got the Municipal Liquor Store in Millerville at Millerville in Brandon, actually. Sixth place is the Riverside Store and Tavern in Litchfield with 965,504 points. Now getting into the 1 million point club as we have that top five. Fifth place is the Tasty Pizza Bar and Bowl St. Francis with 1,015,230 points. Now with 1,042,090 points in fourth place, we got JJ's Bowl and Lounge in North Branch. Third place is the Super Bowl in Ramsey with 1,149,220 points. As our second place location is the Underground Bar and Grill Mankato with 1,172,745 points. And then our number one location, it is the Long Bridge in Detroit Lake with 1,324,180 points. Congratulations to that fantastic location, earning so many points while playing this awesome game day bingo. While you guys are continuing to play this game day bingo, we just have a friendly reminder that when you play Pilot games, don't forget to share those awesome pictures with us. We absolutely love seeing your smiling faces. If you happen to hit a jackpot, hold up your iPad and show your happy face with that jackpot message. We'd love to celebrate with you. You can also send us pictures of you playing with your friends or your favorite bartender. Just you having a good time playing Pilot games is worth a view for us. To share your pictures, you can either direct message them to us on Facebook, post them with the hashtag Pilot Games, or email them to jackpots@pilotgames.com. We can't wait to see all the fun moments that you guys capture out there playing these awesome iPads. As we're coming to a close in this game number 11, we're closing in on that minor prize. 2 balls away for some of these players, as we'll need those lucky 2 balls to drop quickly. As that 60th ball drops, can it go out? Maybe to Colleen? No, it will be moving on to our final game, a game number 12 of Game Day Bingo. Should be a very fun game number 12. But in this game right here, $28.20 is being split up between Scott over at the American Legion Rosemont and Big Guy over at HR Pesties. Great job to both of our winners in this fantastic game as we now get enrolled into this 12th game of this lunchtime bingo and the final game of lunchtime bingo that I will be live with you guys for. So get enrolled, press play, and let's have some fun working on a 62 ball or less minor prize. As we get enrolled over the next 2 minutes for that great opportunity, I'll be talking about a little bit of Vikings news. As multiple dots connect the Minnesota Vikings to making a possible trade with the Washington Commanders. Currently, the Washington Commanders are in possession of the number 2 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Most have assumed the Commanders are going to hold on to that number 2 selection and use it on one of the top quarterback prospects in this year's draft. But some have recently speculated that they might be willing to make a trade, may trade the pick. If Washington ends up being open to trading the number 2 pick, there are a few reasons why Minnesota could turn out to be the team that makes a deal for that coveted draft selection. Definitely. I mean, one of those obvious reasons for us to make that move is if Kirk Cousins doesn't want to come back. That would be definitely a huge hit on this on our projection for this upcoming season. And so we'll definitely have to take a few looks at that as As first, him leaving is an essential look at the starting quarterback position. Minnesota could sit around and wait to see which passing prospect are still available at the number 11th overall pick, or they could be super aggressive and trade up to the Commanders, which guarantees them to land one of the top QB prospects, whether that's Drake May or the dynamic Heisman winner in Jaden Daniels. That would get me really confused because I already get confused with Jaden McDaniels and Jaden Daniels just because their names are so similar. And then for them both to be playing in Minnesota, maybe it's different professional sports teams, as one's in the Minnesota Timberwolves and one would be in this hypothetical scenario playing for the Minnesota Vikings, but it would still confuse me nonetheless, as I'd be calling Jaden Daniels Jaden McDaniels, and I'd be calling Jaden McDaniels Jaden Daniels. So it would get me all kinds of confused covering both these teams. But Kwefi Adafo-Mensah has been known, is not someone who is a shield away from being aggressive during his tenure with the team. He's made a lot of movement during each and every one of these drafts, whether it's been trading down for his first 2 years, but I think he's very willing to make a trade up as well. And a deal to acquire the number 2 pick with Washington would just continue the trend of Minnesota being active during the trade market under Adafo-Mensah. If Adafo-Mensah were to pick up the phone and call the Commanders about the possible trade, you'd likely end up talking with old friend on the other line. Back in January, Washington hired Adam Peters to the new general manager spot. Before the Commanders hired him this year, Peters held multiple roles as a member with the San Francisco 49ers front office from 2017 to 2023, working alongside Adafo-Mensah from 2017 to 2019, as they were both members of that 49ers front office. So maybe you can get a deal. They have that rapport between each other, and maybe that deal can get done. So maybe take a look at this year's draft for some big things happening. Well, you could send some luck out to our Vikings by playing the great E-Tab game, Vikings Victory. Pick a letter in the skull bonus round. See if you can take home a huge jackpot prize. It's definitely a great time. As we're talking about professional sports teams, we just had our Minnesota Timberwolves get another win against the Trailblazers, 119 to 114. We'll be now waiting for them to take the court once again, as they're heading on over to Indiana tomorrow to take on the Indiana Pacers at 6 p.m. Should be a lot of fun for that Thursday night matchup. But in this matchup right here of Game Day Bingo, we're waiting to see who can take home this jackpot prize. Last opportunity for that major prize at $3,000, as that thing will actually be grown into this next game, as it just hit $3,000. In the next game of Game Day Bingo, that should be sitting at 51 balls or less. But I think everyone had their eyes on this minor jackpot of $151. And that's going out to Lou over at Clive's Roadhouse Rogers. Great job to you, Lou, taking home $151.25 in this fantastic game number 12 of Game Day Bingo. Don't miss out, as we are now going to be getting enrolled into some Lucky 4 bingo action. $137,974 available in this upcoming game, and that's before anybody gets enrolled. So should be a fantastic prize, one of the largest jackpots available today. So do not miss out on this upcoming game. As you guys get enrolled into this game, I do have a player spotlight, as Chris over the Thumper Pond Resort took home $7,629 this past weekend. And over at the Thumper Pond Resort, they supported the Ottertail Rod and Gun Club, which they support various outdoor activities and persons across the Ottertail City and Ottertail County. And that's just a quick reminder that when you guys play pilot games, your community wins.